Well, here we are back again, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus, and this is Father's Day 2020. Usually I bring a message relative to the Father of the universe as being my father, and I do that because I was one of those kids that the father was not around. Um, household that was without a father. I had a father figure, my man who raised me, my great grandfather, but that father, you know what we mean. Well, I'm sure there are a lot of kids in America and kids around the world who were, for one reason or another, absent one of the parents. And a parent missing is a parent missed. And so I say, ladies and gentlemen, that it is still important that that position is recognized for what it should be. And when I speak of should be, I speak of the higher power, not the lower power, the power of the highest, the power of creation and the maintenance of creation. That's the kind of power that I refer to. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to speak to not just my viewing audience, which might be limited to 2 or 3, and I hope you 2 or 3 this time share this message across with your friends, and I hope they do the same thing. And I hope before this election comes around, the whole nation has changed its mind. I want to convert the nation. I want to convert your way of thinking. I want you to see things different than you've been seeing them. I want you to make up your mind that you're going to play a different kind of part in life, your life and the life of your brothers and sisters and your neighbors and your enemies. I want you to make a change. I don't want you to come to church and not trying to save your soul. I want you to listen while God give you a message that'll save your life. Let me say it one more time. Save your life. You were made to live, not to just sit here as a slave and die and then hope there's a heaven that somebody's told you about. No, you know you were made to live because you're living, and there are standards of living. You see people living, you wish you could live like that. And you see people living, so you say, thank God I'm not living like that. Now, ain't that something? Well, see, that's because perhaps the father figure was missing from your home. Now, me, my friends, I talk about that now. I'm not trying to point my finger at anybody. I'm one. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I have children that I have never bought a bottle of milk for. I have never bought a diaper for. And you can bet your last money they hate my guts. I don't blame them for hating my guts. They don't know the circumstance of my situation, and it really doesn't matter. They hate my guts. Now, what am I going to try to do? I'm going to try to lift up America, lift up this nation in such a way that it's so progressive, it's so fantastic, till one day they'll wake up and they'll say, I'm so glad that was my dad. He never did nothing for me in my earlier life, but I'm telling you right now, he could never have done as much as he's done now. And they're going to be grateful. At least that's the way I hope. And I hope everybody's like that. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm speaking this message to every human being on the globe. Wherever you are, this message is for you. Let me ask you some questions. I want each of you to answer them. You don't have to say it out loud. Just say it mentally. Do you need food to survive? So, would you like to always have food available to you and nothing to prevent you from having food? Because you would surely die if you didn't eat. Now, wouldn't you like a father that provided for you in this regard? What about clothing and shelter, out of the elements, a house, an apartment, a decent place that you have dreamed about living in? Would you like a place like that to live in, every last one of you? Would you like to be homeless, living in a ditch, under a tree? I think every last one of you would like to have access to housing. I'm talking to 8 billion people. I'm assuming that there's 8 billion. And I'm beyond a shadow of doubt, 8 billion says yes. Now, what about education? Any of you, would you like to receive education unlimited and unrestricted? The education that you needed, that maybe the system decided that basic education, and then specific education for your needs? Would you like health care from the time you enter into this world until the time you're out of this world? Would you like that? 8 billion people, answer me. Would you like it? I'm sure every last one of you said yes. Now let me ask you one other question. Being on this earth, having these requirements for survival, and being here, would you rather just be here, or would you like to have something to do for being here? And if you're going to have something to do, would you like for it to be something that you love doing, that is not work, but actually you love it so much till it's joy? Would you like it that you could exercise that gift? And that gift plays a part in creating all of enough of food, clothing, shelter, and education, and healthcare that no one would ever be without it. And then extra stuff like transportation, infrastructure, all that stuff also fits into that category. Now, wouldn't all of you say yes to something like that? And wouldn't a father that was capable, a father who had that kind of compassion and love for you, who didn't make mistakes, but had access and provided, not just for the day or the moment, but for eternity? I mean, couldn't you appreciate that? 8 billion people are saying yes. But let me ask you something, ladies and gentlemen. Why does that not exist? Now, most of you will say, you don't know. It was like this when you came into the world. It's just normal. It's the way things are supposed to be. You guess it has its problems, but what you gonna do? That's the thing that most of you say about it. Well, do you know what government is? I'm not talking about what government have been designed to be for, but what is it really? Isn't government the will of the people to ascertain and maintain all of this thus described, to operate in a fashion that no one is denied anything, that it's like thereof, which is evident with pain and suffering and lying and cheating and stealing and killing? Isn't it something that we'd like to extract from the possibilities of happening in our society? And the only way to do that is to make sure and to guarantee that these things that each of you, 8 billion of you, have agreed on, and yet it doesn't exist, and you don't know why. The reason, my friends, is this. The way all of the earth is created, and it follows a normal, natural process. The things that I just got through describing basically reference heaven on earth, paradise. It represents a Garden of Eden. It operates also by principles, basic principles that will naturally unfold into those things that we just got through talking about. But if there is a virus, and viruses do come along, and usually it's to manipulate, destroy the operating process, perhaps just to get rid of it or to create a new one. Well, every time we see something that jumps up and try to take housing from people, taking insurance from people, taking health care from people, it's not just to take it from them, but it's to redirect it to someone else, some other direction. In the world today, it's directed to the trillionaires, the billionaires. That's all you got to look. It's not hidden. Right there with the trillionaires and billionaires. And as they do more of it, you'll see more pain. As they see more of it, you see more suffering. And so this day, my friends, this Father's Day, I'm saying to America, last night in Oklahoma, there was a rally of individuals who have suffered so much from a lack thereof of what I just described to you, till the position that you find yourself in, it's at a low level, but you are pissed and you want to do something about it. You want to do something about it, like ending it. Retarded is not good enough. You want to end it. And you got a hope that somebody can come up with something, a group or an individual, that would actually eliminate these problems. On the other hand, they come up with a plan. Their plan is to just treat you worse than you're a second-class citizen. Treat you back when they say they were great, when you were an animal, less than a dog or 3/5 a human being. They want to take you back where they can put chains around your neck and hang you from trees. I just heard the other day that they've been a couple of guys, I believe that was in Minnesota, they found hanging from a tree. And they've been doing that in Mississippi, hanging from trees. And cops are killing everybody. You see, that's that mentality that says we're going to take over by eliminating the other people that are in the way. These are the people that when the dad was not at home, he was out there in the streets doing some stuff he should not have been doing. I'm not talking about those legitimate people out there who just fell on hard times, but the players, you know, who always wanted to take advantage of someone else. They saw the scheme and they mastered the scheme, and they got the kids out there with them. And in the process, you find out that road is not clear all the way, ladies and gentlemen. You have a hard price to pay for that. And some of the people who have listened to that have gone through so much, they've suffered so much, until they just don't believe that it could be fair. You know, they got this thing saying it's too good to be true. They don't believe things can be true. In fact, they don't believe, they're so against things being true, to everything that seems like it might be true, they will take some kind of action to make sure that it fails. And that's why when we're talking about bringing people together so we can have all of these kinds of things that we just got through describing, that was prepared for us by the Master Father. You find this underlying father down here who wants to be father, who's the smartest person on the face of the earth, who got more brains and more intelligent and understand things more than anybody on earth. That's because he started the crap. You will not surely die. Don't listen to him, listen to me. You're better than they are, you deserve. You remember, that's the lie they tell. Well, ladies and gentlemen, 8 billion of you now have said that you want peace, you want prosperity, you want freedom, and you want joy of life, and you want the fulfillment of your dreams to come true. 2016, the world power tried you. They tested you. They put 2 individuals, each one of them representing evil. They put a Republican and a Democrat. They were both representatives of evil. And rather than try to put somebody up there, you the people of America, rather than demanding that they put somebody that's decent, somebody that was not called a criminal, a gangster, you didn't demand that. You decided that you would go for evil. It's just the lesser of 2 evils. You told the world that you were ready to receive evil. You were ready to be controlled. You were ready to be manipulated. You were ready to be dogged out because you accepted evil. So you voted for the lesser of 2 evils, which was Donald Trump at that time. Now he's turned into the biggest evil. He's bigger, biggest evil, and now you want to go back to that limited evil, saying, "Hold, we're going into the big evil too fast. Hold up, let's slow up. Let's get on the Democratic training. Something might happen in time." And you got the Spirit of the living God speaking to you through this voice, saying that you can end it right now, but it's your choice. God is not going to make it happen any more than this coronavirus is going to kill everybody. It's not. But if you take that choice, you make that choice. What you do, you tell your father that now you are an adult. You have been a kid. You've grown up. You've matured. And now you're going to help your father run this house. You're going to help your father in his responsibilities. You're going to make it easy for him because those things that are proper are going to continue, and those things that are not going to continue. Why? Because you are an adult now. The spiritual power of love and understanding is entered into you by hearing this message and the other messages that God has sent to you through this voice. And you're going to begin to see that you don't have to be afraid. The guns, the laws, all of that is force. All of that is control. That is not heavenly. That is hell. Being controlled by a law, it's supposed to be natural. A natural law says righteousness follows righteousness. Goodness follows goodness. Kindness follows kindness. And hell follows hell. I want to thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That's enough. I'm going to leave it there. When you go to those polls, you don't vote for Republican, you don't vote for Democrat. You vote for righteousness. And who is the representation of righteousness? You are. Thank you.